In the, well, that company has a lot of chutzpah category, Figma, who makes design and prototyping software, has trademarked the phrase dev mode. Absolutely real. Dev mode, as in developer mode, and gone so far as to reach out to other companies, including a screenshot here from Lovable Labs, demanding that they stop using the words dev mode in their developer software, which has developer modes in them. From the letter, Dear Lovable, I just like that it starts out like that. Makes it feel all warm and squishy. I am the general counsel at Figma Incorporated. Figma is the owner of the dev mode trademark, which has been used extensively around the world in connection with our software platforms. We are flattered that you agree dev mode is the ideal name for a software tool that helps bridge the gap between design and development. But as inventors and entrepreneurs, we're sure you can understand that we need to protect our intellectual property. We ask that you please cease all use of dev mode in connection with your products and services. Rename your tool and remove all references to our mark from your website, marketing materials, and other public-facing content. We'd like to resolve this amicably so that we can each get back to building great products for our customers. Please write back as soon as possible to let me know you've agreed to this request. Sincerely, Figma Incorporated. And of course, Figma Incorporated is the makers of the Figma socks. If you look those up online, they are real socks that they made because they decided the best way to advertise their softwares with socks. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about dev mode. It's such a common phrase that's been in common use in relationship to website builders, software tools, just in general, for as long as the word dev has referred to developers or development. Here's this picture of the Shopify website, unrelated to either Figma or Lovable. Just Shopify uses dev mode prominently. There's just so many examples. It's utterly asinine. And so Figma has demanded that Lovable respond with that. And so the head of Lovable then responded with, quote, "We're not changing the dev mode name, lol. What should I reply to Figma?" Now, as far as I know, this has not been resolved as yet. I'm waiting. This is just a couple of days ago that this was happening, and I'm waiting to see how this all plays out. But this isn't the only ridiculous term that Figma has trademarked. Here, I'm going to bring up another screenshot here. This is from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Figma also registered the trademark, and they hold it right now for the word, brace yourselves for this, config. I'm not kidding. They hold the registered trademark, and they filed for this in 2019, and they have the final registration date of 2022. So they've held the trademark for the word config for the last 3 years. Specifically, I'm just going to read this here. This is from, again, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, for arranging, organizing, and providing online and in-person interactive training classes, workshops or educational conference, seminar courses, educational meetings in the field of digital design, and collaboration and technology as it relates to digital design. So basically, Figma holds the trademark on the usage of the word config if anything you do related to the word config has to do with digital design. It's pretty gosh darn broad. I mean, that could be implied to be a lot of things. You load up, let's say you load up Visual Studio from Microsoft, and within Visual Studio, you have visual interface layout and designer tools. If Microsoft then used the word config somewhere in that tool, they would be in violation of this trademark from Figma Incorporated. It's absolutely crazy. They also, let's see if I've got it here. They've also tried to at least register the trademark for Schema. However, that trademark has been abandoned because Figma just abandoned it. Quote, abandoned because the applicant failed to respond or filed a late response to an office action. And that was that. That was back in 2021, and they have not had any attempt to get that going again since then. So what we have here is Figma holds, though, the trademarks for both dev mode and config. Two of the most ridiculously generic terms in the world of software. Config. Config.sys, anyone? Now, sure, you could make the case that, oh, well, this just applies to graphic design and what did they say it? Oh, and digital design and any technology that relates to digital design. But that could be really broad. Trademark laws, they tend to get applied in a very broad way. I know that's not necessarily an intention of trademark laws, but that's what ends up happening. If you have a company that says, okay, anything that says dev mode as it relates to digital design is ours. Okay, great. So that means that any developer tool that in any way relates to digital design, meaning has design tools, could be used to build design tools, etc., can no longer use the word config or dev mode. See the problem? So, but technically, Figma does, from a legal standpoint, hold the trademarks on both of these phrases, both dev mode and config. And it's insane that they hold those trademarks. It's insane that it was granted. Such ridiculously generic terms that have been in use for years and years, nay, decades, prior to Figma existing as a corporation. Certainly prior to Figma creating any tools that use these phrases. The fact that the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office granted these trademarks should be challenged. It absolutely should be challenged. However, Figma is looking at going public. And they are, this is all tied together. So they are looking at going public, making an IPO. And at the same time, that means that they're out there heavily enforcing their trademarks, their brands, their word marks, the whole deal right now. It's a big time. So they're incentivized to get out there and heavily defend those trademarks, because not only is that because of their marketing needs, if they can effectively defend these trademarks, then it's very easy for them to go out and charge other companies for the usage of those trademarks, or go after them and basically be, a trademark troll and a copyright troll at this point. I mean, that's really what we're looking at. And that is a potentially very lucrative endeavor for Figma if they can hold on to dev mode and config for quite some time. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, what's next? Are they going to go out and grab a trademark for edit? Right? I mean, edit mode. If you use the word edit, the phrase edit mode in your software, you have to pay Figma $1 bajillion. I mean, why not? They've already got config and dev mode. What's to stop them from having edit mode? Or how about layout? Why not just trademark the word layout, right? Because we're already getting into the point where we're using single words, single phrases that have been in common usage in software for decades. Why not take it to even more absurd lengths? Because honestly, edit mode is no more absurd than dev mode already is. They're both nuts. It's absolutely friggin' nuts. But I wanted to put this out there because as Figma is going to be attempting to enforce these trademarks going forward, the net result is bad press for Figma, right? Because people are going to view them as essentially a trademark and copyright troll. No one wants to do business with a trademark and copyright troll. Also, a lot of companies are going to be looking to defend themselves against Figma because of the use of the phrase dev mode, or possibly even dev, and config going forward. And they're going to need to be able to point to, see, it's obvious. Everyone and their dog knows these are common terms, common generic phrases and terms that were in common usage prior to the existence of the trademarking of the term themselves, which makes it easier to defend themselves against Figma coming after them. So that's why I'm putting this out there right now, because it's absolutely ludicrous. Thank you to the Lunduke Journal subscribers who allows me to do this work. Go to lunduke.com and click on whichever link you like there. Just pick one. Go to lunduke.com and pick your favorite link. There's some really good ones on there. I like all the links. There's podcast links and video links and happy links. There's so many great links. Click on one and then click on things on that link. It's amazing what you can do. The internet is crazy. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and nerdettes, across the inner tubes, I do declare, end broadcast.